Hi, welcome to today's session. Today we're going to be making a corn mince with pasta. Before we start though, as always, make sure you've washed your hands before you start cooking. Once you start using a knife, make sure after you've used the knife you put it away safely, wash it and dry it and put it out the way. So corn pasta, you could use another mince if you want, but I decided to use the corn today. So before we start, we're going to go through the ingredients. So here we have, which I've already pre-cooked, some whole wheat pasta. Now you could use the white, but the whole wheat is really good and it's a lot better for you. So that's your whole wheat pasta there. When you cook that, you do from the instructions. It takes about 10 to 12 minutes to cook in boiling water, but always follow the instructions on the back of the packet. Okay, so that's our pasta. As I said here, we've got corn mince here, so 300 grams of corn mince. If you're using meat, you could use minced beef, minced turkey, whichever. That's your corn. We're going to pack this with loads of veggies now. So I've chopped one onion and a garlic clove. That's ready to go. We've got some mushrooms, 50 grams of mushrooms. We've got one red pepper, mixed herbs, tomato puree, and some chopped tomatoes. When we put all this together, what we're going to do at the very end is we're going to put it in the oven for about 10 minutes. We're going to put some grated cheese on top and let the cheese melt. Is that okay with everybody? So now we're going to get started. Okay, so onion is already diced here with garlic clove diced. I'm going to dice the red pepper. You could use a green pepper. I think the red's quite bright to go into it. Gives that little bit of extra colour. So I'm going to do these into some nice little cubes. Doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be perfectly cut. When you're cutting a pepper though, always remember to cut it this way, not with the skin, because it's quite hard to cut through the skin part. So if you just do it through the middle part here, it's a lot easier to do. That's a bit of pepper. I didn't do the onion on the video because I've used this particular lot of onions before and they're really quite strong, so I didn't want tears streaming down in the middle of making the recipe. So there's the red pepper ready. Now we're going to do the mushrooms. So I'm not going to wash them because mushrooms have got a lot of water in anyway, so I'm just going to give them a little dry there, get rid of any dirt on them. I'm just going to slice them quite thinly. A little bit floating around there. Pop that here. And again, what I've done is I've put everything back in bowls. So when we go over to the cooker in a minute, we'll just take all the bowls across so you're not walking across the room all the time looking for your ingredients. Okay, so the good thing about this particular recipe as well is if you didn't want to make it here and now, you could actually get the stuff ready earlier in the day, keep it in the fridge, then put the meal together later on in the day so you're not prepping up if you're busy. So ingredients are all ready now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the hob. We're going to start cooking the ingredients off. Okay, so just going to use about a teaspoon of olive oil. It's the olive oil with the garlic in. Heat up just for a couple of seconds. So as I said, first thing I'm going to do is cook the onion and the garlic off. Just get a little bit soft. And always make sure when you're cooking as well that you hold the pan handle. Just give it a little bit of colour on the onion. I can add the corn in now. Corn you need to cook from frozen, so that will take a couple of minutes just to break down, but once it breaks down it does obviously resemble mince. It's very healthy, low in fat and high in protein. Just gently break that down with a wooden spoon. So I'm going to add the 2 teaspoons of tomato puree. That's going to give it some nice depth of flavour. Mix that through. It does take just a couple of minutes to cook out the tomato puree. As you can see now that the corn's broken down, it does look like mince. So we're going to add some mixed herbs. That's just a teaspoon of dried mixed herbs. Remember, when you use dried herbs, you use a lot less than you would use if you did fresh herbs. We'll add our tin tomatoes. As you can see, it's now building up into a nice big pan. And our final two things are our red peppers and the mushrooms. So I'm going to mix them through. I'm just going to leave this to cook for about 15-20 minutes. If you think it's drying out a little tiny bit, just add a little bit of hot water to it. So as you can see, we're going to put that on a low heat now and let it cook away nicely. Okay, so here we go. Our mince, corn mince is beautifully cooked there. So I'm going to add that. Actually, we'll add the pasta to the mince. You can do add it. What you could actually do, if you didn't want to mix it all together, what you could actually do is serve it on top of the pasta. I'm going to mix this together, and then I'm going to put it into the serving dish. I've got some cheese already grated to pop on top. Mix this through. It's in our serving dish now. See how much this makes? A massive amount. Let's put that down there. Put that to one side. Just give that time to mix together. Ooh, little pasta escape there. Now I'm just going to put a little bit of grated cheese on top. And pop this in the oven for about 10 minutes. Okay, there we go, our pasta bake. Okay, there we have our finished corn pasta bake. So we'll just go through the ingredients again. We have 250 grams of pasta. We use a whole wheat. 300 grams of corn mince. We had 1 red pepper, 1 onion and a garlic clove, 50 grams of mushrooms, 2 teaspoons of tomato puree, teaspoon of mixed herbs, a tin of chopped tomatoes, and we put about 50 grams of grated cheese on top. This came to about £3.50, but again, as always, depends where you shop. So I'm going to serve with some salad here. It looks absolutely beautiful, doesn't it? Plenty for 4 people. There we go. So the recipe for this will be on our Facebook page. If you do make the recipe at home, which I do hope you do, if you'd like to send some pictures in so we can have a look at them. Thank you for watching the video today, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you and stay safe.